So the crypto market has been on fire with what's going on with the political climate in the United States. I find it to be absolutely fascinating that um, watching the news, watching the RNC convention, watching all that, and then having a Bitcoin up and to the right. It's like having an EKG for the United States. It's just absolutely fantastic. It's literally like moving sometimes based on statements that are being made, especially as it relates to fiscal spending. When
Mm.
they go, we're going to spend because they're competing for spending. You know, the Democrats will be like, we're going to spend for this reason, and then the Republicans say we're going to spend for this reason. None of them are saying they're going to cut anything
No,
other
yeah, we
than
don't we don't
taxes.
apparently cut anything in this country anymore.
So there you go. Oh my God, that is up and to the right. I remember last night after Donald Trump's speech, where he said he was going to spend whatever for something, and then I just messaged my group and go, okay, that's it. Floor is in for Bitcoin. We're going up and to the right here, and then now we're up. What is it? A few percentage this morning. Like, and it happens right at the a technical support level,
Right.
which again is this whole
Yeah, but
Mercury is in
what is it?
conjunction Saturn, and it's like, okay, now it's
Exactly.
working.
Is it the indicator that pushes it, or is it events? And how do the two seem to line up so frequently, right? It's
That's right.
the age-old technical analysis question.
It's the for me in my mind, I go, we live in a fractal system.
Mhm.
If any part of the system is fractal, then the entire system is fractal. That's how fractals work. And so we're all connected in some mysterious way. Independent streams of things that are happening that just so happen to all come together for a specific thing. You're
Yeah.
using technical analysis with moving averages. You go, oh, I can see it happening over there. You remove it. You put ICT, smart money contract, whatever things. Oh, you're seeing something else. You put fundamentals on it. Oh, it's at a certain point. So I just go, to me, it feels like this crazy magical astrology for men. Essentially, is what it feels like to me.
But I mean, I guess I've thought about it that way a long time prior to even getting into technical analysis, or even taking it very seriously and going down the path of getting professional designation for it. Uh, I thought the same thing, that it was just astrology for men, and I thought that it was just kind of bogus. And how can you just put a couple lines on the chart and expect that to be where the price goes? But as you start to learn what technical analysis is really about, you realize it's not about forecasting price in the future. It's not about the ability to have a crystal ball. It's about measuring the markets. And by measuring the markets, we can get a sense of the probabilities of what might happen, right? What might happen in the future. That doesn't mean that we know exactly what's going to happen, but we are using price and volume as a way to inform our decisions about the market's expression, or the market's bias, or sentiment about where prices are going. And we can do that through observing trend, and observing price action, and observing people's sense of panic. We can measure so many different things that help us understand how the market responds to current events. And I guess one thing to think about when we look at events lining up with price action and happening to have confluence with technical indicators we look at, is that in some way it's also a form of confirmation bias. It's also possible to basically ignore the hundreds of other indicators that disconfirm that price action, but only just look at the one that you're looking at. Even further, I can take this further and say, if you were to look back at all the events of confirmation that you're looking at on the chart, and try to line it up with every single event, you're also ignoring the times in which the two don't converge, but the signal is still strong and it still goes the direction you want.
Right.
So it's important to recognize too that, like, again, we're thinking in probabilities. We're not thinking in certainty. This is never a game of certainties. It's never a game of absolute. It's a 0% chance or 100% chance. It's somewhere between 1% and 99%, right?
I don't think I consume any news now in any way or make any decisions where there's not something on the charts in some asset in some class or whatever that tells me something about it. Because to me, it's about, I see the chart and it tells me what I should pay attention to, what is true. And for me, true is what's useful. And so I hear a bunch of narratives, and then I go, okay, but then if the chart doesn't move because of it, then I go, then it doesn't actually have any weight, because there's millions of dollars, sometimes billions of dollars that are at stake here. And if they don't think that it's not convincing to them, well, then it's not convincing to me.